expect someone who has never set foot in a court to catch it. Enough of the smugness! Out with it already! Edgeworth being smug. Edgeworth is a perfect partner to Lisa. It's amazing.
Smugworth.
Miss Pops told us earlier. According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. I'm sure that it was a bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on his face. And if that's the case, then even I can see it's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen a bad badger, and yet the bad badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict one another, and one of them must be wrong. Lisa rolled a nat 20 on intimidation and Francisca paid the price. Hello Manesk, how are you? Let's see, because we have this one for one thing, but we also have the fact that we have the missing model gun. I'm doing great. My throat is a little bit sore after doing all this voice acting, but I'm doing fine. Maybe it wasn't the bad badger, but Miss Pops, what you saw was not the bad badger. Think back and recall, which character was it that had leveled that gun at you? When he was wearing a pair of sunglasses and had a strange blue beard. That sums up the bad badger pretty well, I'd say. Too bad for you. Was it the blue bad badger was a mistake here? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is fixed. Like writing for the Ace Attorney universe, you just have to. I think you just have to take the characters and make your own things, and just make it up as you go. There's not enough context really in this game, apart from like the characters in the universe itself. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Yeah, that is fair. Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if the bad badger wasn't wearing pants in his lower half? Not wearing pants, huh? Okay. This proves that there was a way for the bad badger to use both of his hands.
Take that!
Oh, come on, like...
Take that!
The costumes have two parts to them, one head and a body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pop saw was probably the head of the bad badger. However, is it possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yes. Or to put more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. Which badger would it be? I mean, we found the bad badger in the costume. We have the... Which of the badgers does it make sense for her to see? I mean, it's either the Proto Badger or the Blue Badger. Yeah, the bar is getting rather low. Yeah. Oh right, because it was yeah, Lauren had the Blue Badger.
Take that!
What? What the heck is it? It's the Proto Badger. Yes. And it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Potts was wearing the Blue Badger costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink Badgers is in the wrong color, which have made it incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Proto Badger costume. Miss Potts, who was the one who wore the Proto Badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Armano donned the bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Dakin? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Potts while wearing the hideous thing. The stage was set up. In the stage was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose would lead Miss Potts to believe that she had committed a murder. Wait, rip that ship? Standing there in front of Miss Potts, in that sense, and pretending to be the victim. It was. I don't think so, Pix. Isn't that the nature of crime? It was all done that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. And why exactly would I have to do that, huh? There's but one reason. Lance Armano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Oliver Dakin. What? No! That's slander! Take it back! You take it back right now! Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. But what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Potts, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. Hey, Kaimo! Good evening. How are you doing in your exams studying? And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he would would be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he would be hit by a bullet.
Take that!
Hey, congratulations! Also, a 6 is harder than an A, for the record. A is like 90% and 6 is 95% if I recall. Congratulations, Kylo. We found one half of a badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same what the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is a model gun that the badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Potts, where's the gun you used now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe we can safely assume it was the model gun in question. I'm doing well. Although I have some bad news for myself and Tenno because it's raining outside and we're going for a walk afterwards. We will go for a walk afterwards. But apart from that, I'm doing good. I mean, provided it's not raining, we can take the umbrella and go for a nice, calm walk in the rain. I like walking in the rain, provided there's no wind. You hear Tenho noises. You are correct. I've heard enough. All you've been sprouting thus far is pure conjecture. The thing is, Tenho doesn't enjoy taking walks in the rain, provided there's no wind. The heavier the better. There's just something about like walking outside with the pitter-patter of the rain on the umbrella. It's soothing. There's just something about it. It could also be that I'm like, in my case, it's because I'm from Western Norway, and like rain is just, it's a thing for me. I love rain. I like rain. I admit it, as long as the model gun is lost to us and I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the real murder took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please wait a second. That's simply not possible. Because I saw him as a deacon after he was restrained by Lance. She saw the victim in the state of being restrained. So during all this coronavirus thing that's going on, there is a Discord channel that Tenno and I hang in. It's the Game Developers Work From Home Discord channel. It's basically Swedish game developers. And we had this like conversation today where we're just like, once it's all done, let's meet up and have a big Italian party with like pizza and pasta and wine and cheese and all manner of things. And it's gonna be glorious. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Dakin. He had tied Mr. Dakin securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put up our costumes, back our costumes, and made our escape. So, Mr. Dakin must have escaped right after the two of you left, right? We thought it attracted too much attention if we left together, so I left first. Callie's trying to name the Weeblings. We planned to meet up again at the stadium, But then, as I was walking to the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. All of them managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He stole a gun from me, and at the time, and then the murder happened. Mr. Dakin must have overheard our plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at the time, would you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Well, that's because the one she saw in the other room was Edgeworth himself. So this one.
Hold it!
You are sure it was Mr. Dakin that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Should we go into the other room to check? Lance said it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then are you telling me that you didn't confirm that it was Mr. Dakin for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head, so I'm absolutely sure that it had to be Mr. Dakin. She saw a bad badger's head. Actually, I keep doing it with the wrong finger. It's not the right hand. It's left hand. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Dakin at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. It was me. Huh? The person that saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would just have taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Dakin. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's, you showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's hat on. And then, you made the costume escape together, or so you pretended. Huh? What do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe that Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Yeah, like, I love it, and it's amazing. It's like, this pointy finger, like his index finger is the most important weapon in his arsenal. Probably to come and remove the bad badger's head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison, to which with the propped sword. Then he escaped from via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy! Don't get caught in that tidal wave of words coming out of your the mouth of Mr. Prosecutor. Tidal wave? We have a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shed of evidence. The victim's betrayal, his subsequent detainment, all that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right, you were out quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would still have seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Dakin, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would have seen that you can't prove a thing. Who said that? Please wait. Someone. Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. Oh, but Lance, it's not good for you to cause trouble for others. Dad. Let's see. You were the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I will have some evidence for you. Oh, you do now. Is that what I think it is? It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing and a gun. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these for myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the area. Is there no one in the country that actually obeys the law? Oh, there. Now. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Oh, there now. There is no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land. So not bound by the laws of your country. No. This wasn't meant a strong argument or anything, it was just a request. I am asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. And right now, let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics lab that I'm good terms with conduct the test. That's not suspicious at all, you know. They verified that blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. And as for the gun, the only fingerprints I could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such distress and heartache. Oh, thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason to push my poor boy around. That's it. These are the case-making pieces of evidence. I'll be the judge of that. Could this gun be the actual murder? Let's examine the murder weapon to see if it is. Yeah, it's like just walking around throwing cash everywhere. We found Miss Pop's fingerprints on this gun. Can you let me hold it for a sec? I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it. Besides, Miss Pop's prints are on it. Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. It's not like I'm going to run up with it. The only thing I don't return are treasures. Stealing either one will land you in jail, you know. Wait, what? There's nothing unusual here? This bullet hole. Looks like... It looks kind of burned around the edges. Wait. Those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. Kay is amazing. Why is that? Because it's proved the victim was shot at point blank range. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume's head. Hey, they sparkle! I bet they're really valuable! I do have the Steel Samurai, yes. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. Why are they in here? Well, are these not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Make no mistake, these are the fingerprints on that murderous guns, and they prove it was Lolly that killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you will see that Oliver was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. As if. That may be all you can do. However, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why would you believe me, even in the face of all of this evidence? Oh, this song is so good. I love this song, it's so good. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Though through my connections, I have the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. And I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Raise an objection? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops' gun should print should not be on the gun is the costumes. Because she was wearing costumes at the time.
Take that!
It is simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on a murder weapon. Because while she was in the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But this has been no mistake. We have found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember attaching the gun at all at any time? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Dakin when he and Lance left for the haunted house to retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Miss Lamont? The fingerprints do not prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant that insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way, I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? Huh. That's why you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true. Because that was not the real crime scene, it was a setup. This proves that the real murder was not connected at the stadium at all.
Take that!
Let's take another look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you'll see why I insist that he was not shot at the stadium.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. So then you mean that the murder Miss Olvag saw at the stadium really was? Yes. She saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ugh. Ha! Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why don't you tell us what the real scene of the crime is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Dakin in the hideout. There's a case that the murder must have happened prior to that, and the location where Lance and the victim just where before I was in prison was the haunted house. Welcome back, Biggs.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house. Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely the victim was killed there.
Take that!
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. The fragments of a mirror. A mirror? Ahem, what does that have to do with anything? Indeed. You don't exactly expect people to find pieces of a mirror inside of a costume. Yeah, it's like, my son, I have purchased for I contact the best forensic team money can buy to find evidence that my son was not the killer. That's not suspicious at all. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there was one